Hi everyone, I am Lisa Zimmer and I'm a prevention specialist with the Southwest Council, and we are doing some chair yoga today with our guest, Natalie Kraft. She's going to be doing some chair yoga, some mindful meditation. We'll have some question and answers at the end. So without further ado, go ahead, Natalie, and take it away. Take us to relaxation.
Thank you. I'm going to try my best. So yeah, I'm Natalie Kraft. I have been teaching yoga since about 2008, although I completed my certification in 2009. I am also a therapist and supervisor of a mental health case management program. I have my master's in clinical mental health counseling, and I've also worked in the field of addictions, working on getting my LCADC at the moment. It's been an on and off process for me over the years. But yoga and meditation, mindfulness, these are skills that I come back to a lot and that I use in my work and with my clients and of course for myself, because I find it so beneficial. Yoga is a very old practice originating in India, several thousand years old. And in the original practice of yoga, it was very much philosophical, right? It wasn't necessarily that we were standing on our heads or tying our bodies into knots or anything that you might see on Instagram today. So please do not feel like you have to do any of that. One of the biggest barriers that people will come to me with yoga is I'm just not flexible. I can't focus. And I usually like to say that, you don't lift weights because you're already strong. You lift weights to build that muscle, right? You don't do yoga because you're already flexible. You don't meditate because you're already really great at focusing. You do it and you can become these things, right? You can work toward these and strengthen, that area of the mind and gain those benefits. So, we're going to do the best we can today. We're going to listen to our bodies and modify as needed. So just keeping that in mind, you can always listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right, you don't have to do it. Wait for the next thing you do or whatever feels comfortable. So just kind of putting those disclaimers out there. So we're going to start by centering. And that just means to just be aware of ourselves and our body in the moment. So I usually will suggest the best kind of chair would be one that you can put your feet flat on the floor with. A chair that is sturdy, that's not going to wobble or, affect your balance or topple over, right? We're going to try to find a good sturdy chair like that. I have this old wooden chair here. And we try to have a good even seat too. So if there's a big cushion, sometimes that can affect you. But again, whatever you have to work with is fine. Just doing the best you can always. So we'll start with our feet flat on the floor if possible. And we're just going to be aware of our posture. Our head is going to be over our pelvis. So we don't want to be slouching forward. And there's a couple reasons for this. In the philosophical aspect of yoga, there, people talk about energies and things like that. In a more practical standpoint, if you're crunched over, you're compressing your lungs. You're not going to be able to breathe as fully. If you're not in this good alignment, you're going to have issues with your back sometimes, right? So these are more practical reasons that we want to be aware of our posture. Plus, it's a good practice of mindfulness in general. We can tune in on our body in the moment. So our head is just over our pelvis. The crown of our head or the top of our head is kind of reaching toward the ceiling. So we're starting to lengthen our spine. Be aware of that. Let's just take our shoulders and bring them up to our ears. Squeeze our shoulder blades back and then drop our shoulders down. So that's called a shoulder roll, and you can do it in a nice smooth motion. And that is just to correct how very often we have our shoulders squeezed up. We might not even realize that we're doing it. So we're trying to bring them back down, have some length in our neck. And what I'd like you to do now is be aware of your breath. If it helps you as we come into the center, and you can close your eyes. If you're feeling anxious and it's uncomfortable to close your eyes, I would suggest just gazing down at one spot so that we're reducing visual stimuli, right? But you can still keep the eyes open if that's more comfortable for you in this moment. So we're going to spend a few moments focusing on our breath. So as you inhale, sitting tall. As you exhale, relaxing around a tall spine. If it helps, you can place one hand on your belly. And as you inhale, kind of expand the abdomen, expand the rib cage. And then as you exhale, press the belly button in toward the spine. So we're trying to get that full breath going, a full inhale and then a long, smooth exhale. Long, smooth out breath. And sometimes this can feel awkward if you're not used to breathing that way. In yoga, we'll often say people have backwards breathing. We get so used to being stressed and sucking in our stomachs and these different things, and we breathe up in the chest. We're again trying to correct that, have some diaphragmatic breathing going. If there's any singers or wind instrument musicians out there, you know this very well, right? But we're trying to get that full breath, long exhale. So just for a couple seconds here, a couple breaths, I want you to focus on both your posture and your breathing, lengthening your exhale as best as you can. Any other thoughts that come to mind, any other sounds, distractions are okay. We just acknowledge and then we shift back. Every breath is a new beginning. We can kind of refocus. So we'll practice a couple breaths here. We're going to continue using our breath throughout our practice. So our breath is the anchor to our present moment. We always have it there to work with us, to use it to our benefit. We're going to add a little bit of movement here. And we're starting out with the neck. So we're going to inhale tall. And as we exhale, we'll just tilt the head back so that we are bent at the back of the neck, open at the front of the throat. It doesn't need to be crunched or forced back very far. It's just a gentle drop back. Holding for just a moment or so. And then we're going to roll our right ear to our right shoulder. And you can kind of lift that shoulder up, cradle the head, and let the left shoulder drop. So we have this extension on the side of the neck. We can feel that little stretch. And then gently roll back. Left ear to the left shoulder, or whichever side you're on. Don't get too caught up in that. You know, we'll always be switching. And we'll just go back and forth a couple times here. And then we'll drop the head back. Inhale and sit tall. So again, shoulders are dropped, tall spine. Exhale, gently drop the chin toward your chest. Doesn't matter how far it's going, just so that you can feel a little stretch in the back of the neck. And for some people, you might even start to feel it in the upper back just by dropping the head. And again, we'll start to move our chin to each shoulder, kind of a half circle. And let the head hang. Inhale, sitting up tall, head in a neutral position again, facing forward. We're going to exhale, keep our shoulders low, bring our right ear toward that right shoulder. Take your left arm, let it hang heavy, just off your lap, off the chair. Pretend you're holding a weight in that hand. So you're really letting the weight of the arm help with the extension. And if you would like, you can take your right hand now and kind of hold the left side of your head. So it's all open here, right? The arm isn't in the way, it's all open. So again, you're going to feel a little more of an extension in the side of the neck and down into the shoulder. And then inhale up and exhale to the other side. Same thing, shoulders are dropped, gentle side stretch. We're letting the arm hang heavy. We're using kind of gravity to help us with that extension. And inhale up. Bring your shoulders now up to your ears, squeeze back, drop down. We're going to do that little shoulder roll again. Interlace your fingers, palms facing forward. We'll inhale and swoop the arms up overhead, reach the arms up, drop the shoulders low at the same time. And then stretch the arms out wide, palms facing forward. We'll open and stretch the hands, wiggle the fingers, thumbs to the center of the palms and give a squeeze. Open and stretch again. Make fists and rotate at the wrist. And you probably can't hear this, but I had a couple little pops and cracks going on there in the joints. That's okay if that happens, right? That's good. We're working through that. As long as there's no pain, right? If you need to bend the elbows, if that's a little easier, you can do that too. And we'll go in the opposite direction now. And hold the arms still. We're going to do a little rotation for the arms, stemming from the shoulders here. So I want you to almost imagine like when you take a washcloth and you give it a little twist, right? So we're going to take these arms and we're going to twist the arms back and up in kind of the shoulder sack and then just hold that just as best as you can. But you're going to feel that in your shoulders, in your upper arms primarily, that twist. And then we'll release and rotate up and back the opposite way. And we're kind of opening up the chest here. Palms facing the floor. Inhale, exhale, slowly and mindfully lower your arms. Kind of feel their weight as you slowly lower them. Controlled movement. And then just shake it out a little. Maybe your arms, your shoulders need a little movement. I do a lot of shake it out and reset and kind of for your body there. So do that whenever you need to. We're going to focus now on kind of linking our breath to our movement. So in yoga, some of you may have seen sun salutations where we're kind of going back and forth, up and down on the mat and through. We're going to do a very simplified version of that. And we're just going to flow with our arms here in our breath. So inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, kind of arch back, look up toward the ceiling. Inhale up. Exhale, kind of flow down and give yourself a hug and tuck your chin. So you're kind of rolled down. You can feel that stretch in your back, your chin is tucked. And then we're going to inhale, come up again, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, arch back. Inhale, lift up, reach up toward the sky. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. We kind of end this cycle with hands to heart and then begin again. We're going to do that a few more times and I will cue through. It's a lot of movements, even though that was simplified compared to the standing version. We're going to inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale, roll forward, give yourself a hug. Inhale, come back up again. Exhale, arch back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to prayer. Good. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale, hugging yourself, rolling forward. Inhale, come up. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good. Take a cleansing breath. And that could have been even further simplified, but just inhale up, exhale down, right? You could do different things like that. But that's just to kind of warm up the body, link breath with movement there. We're going to focus on our legs now for a moment. So we will take our right leg and we're going to lift it up as best as you can. So lift it up as high as you feel comfortable. It doesn't need to be extremely high. And we are going to point our toes. Even if you have a bend in the knee, that's okay right now. But point your toes, feel that stretch in the front of the ankle and the shin. And then flex your foot so the heel reaches out and the toes point up. And if you're keeping your leg fairly straight, you should feel a nice stretch in the back of the leg, in the hamstring, in the calf, in that area. And just a quick to show you, if you ever needed, we're not necessarily going to do this today, but I like to give little tips. If you needed more of a stretch, If you wanted to take a belt and kind of wrap it around the foot, you could do a gentle pull like that on the exhale as well. We're feeling that stretch. And now we're going to focus on the ankle a bit. So again, you can keep it straight or bend a little, but we're going to draw a circle in the air with our big toe. Or just like we did with the wrists, we're going to rotate through the ankle and then go in the opposite direction. And during all these simple movements, we're still very mindful of our breath, of our posture. We're aware of these things. Good. And one more time, point the toes, feel the stretch in the front. Flex the foot, heel reaching out. That's how we create the stretch in the back of the leg. And then exhale, relax that leg down, squeeze and stretch the toes. Like we stretch the fingers, all those little joints and muscles, they deserve some love too, right? Those small areas. We actually can hold a lot of tension in these little places, in our jaw, in our fists, in different places like that. So we're going to take our right leg now, and we're going to kind of open it up a bit wider to the side. If it helps you to sit forward on your chair, that might give you a little more room or a little more mobility. Make sure you don't topple forward, of course. But we're going to take this leg and we're going to do some movement through the hip here. So we're going to open up on our exhale. We're going to drop in on our inhale. If it helps you, coming up to the ball of your foot might feel like you have a little more movement ability there. But we'll open on our exhale, close on our inhale. We're going to go back and forth through this movement. So you should feel the hip kind of warming up, loosening up here. So you can keep this leg open just like this, foot on the floor. I'm going to give a few options here, and you can take whatever feels good for you in the moment. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to hinge from the right hip and kind of lean to the side and forward. And if your leg is open wide and you're kind of leaning, you might start to feel a bit of a stretch or opening in that right hip. That's what we're looking for. It's doing the best you can with that. So you could stick to this, or if you feel comfortable, you can take your right leg and cross it over your left, if that's doable for you. If it's not, just stick to that other version, or even stick to the movement if you felt like that was giving you the best benefit there. We're going to inhale tall if we are in this position with the foot over the leg, and we're going to exhale and start to hinge at our hips and move forward. And just to explain, we do not want to round our back and force our head down, because that's not going to give us any benefit at the hips, which is where we're looking to gain the benefit or to get that good feeling, right? So we want to hinge right from the hips with that flat back and start to come forward. And as you do that, as you exhale, that's where we get the best stretch. So on that exhale, we can let go of tension. As you do that, you should feel an opening in your hip. It might not take even much of a lean forward to feel it, right? You can stay very high. If you really wanted to, you could kind of flow all the way down into your lap, but kind of seeing what works best for you here. We're going to take a couple breaths, doing any of those three options, leaning to the side into the hip, doing that movement still if you prefer, or coming into this stretch with the leg up here. And then we'll inhale up. Exhale, relax, release that leg if it was on your lap. Do another couple motions here to kind of release any tension. Our bodies very often will tense a muscle and hold on to it even after we're done an exercise. We don't even realize it's happening sometimes. So giving our body permission to relax and kind of reset in between is good. So of course, we're going to switch to the other leg now. So let's take our left leg and start to reach it up. And we can start with our point. Feel that stretch in the front of the ankle and the shin. And then flex, heel reaches out, toes point up. We get a stretch in the back of the leg. Kind of let go, soften the knee, relax a little, and we will rotate at the ankle a few times in one direction. And then in the opposite direction. And we're going to lower that leg down. Open up the knee to the side. Make sure we have a nice opening, a good range of motion for this hip. And we'll stretch it out and then drop in, and we'll go back and forth with that movement. And you can stay with this, or you can, again, open up wide, and as you exhale, start to lean toward that hip, kind of toward that hip and forward, getting that stretch. It's all about what you feel, right? It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter, you know, which position you're choosing, as long as you're feeling the benefits, right? So you want to feel that in the hip. And you can stay there, or again, we can cross the leg over. Kind of if you were sitting on a bus reading the newspaper, right? It's the same kind of position. Inhale tall, exhale, and hinge into the position, and seeing how far you want to go. If you're feeling the benefits at a certain level, you don't need to go any further, right? So find where you feel good, and a few breaths here, wherever you are, whichever you choose, a few breaths. Inhale up. Exhale, relax, release that leg. Kind of shake it out a little bit if you need to move through. Good. We're going to try a chair version of what's called a hero's pose. I'm sorry, not hero's pose, a warrior pose. Sorry. So warrior 2 in yoga, if we were not in a chair, let's say, we would kind of line up our feet in that L shape or 90-degree angle. We would move into this nice deep open position. And this would be a standing warrior, but we're going to do that same position and gain the same benefits by using our chair today. So since we're on the chair, it'll slightly change the alignment of our hips, but we're still going to get a good benefit. So what we do is we're going to kind of start to bring our right leg over the right side of the chair, keeping the foot flat as best as we can, toes pointing to that right side. Then we're going to take the left leg and we're going to stretch it back behind us as straight as we comfortably can, trying to get the foot flat. If that's not working for you, don't worry about it. Just do the best you can with that alignment of this straight leg back and the front leg at this nice bend at the knee, kind of a 90-degree angle thing. So this is our legs in warrior 2. Our hips are kind of still trying as best as we can to square to the front, right? That's our alignment in our chair here. We're going to bring our arms out to the sides. Shoulders are low, even though our arms are out strong. If it's too tiresome to have your arms out that way, put your hands on your hips instead. Still stay very open, strong pose, right? You're a strong, confident warrior, but that's a good alternative if these arms being out is not as comfortable. And our gaze in our warrior 2 is kind of out toward the right, gazing at our fingertip or at a point in front of us. So in yoga, our gaze is called our drishti, and it's part of the meditative practice, right? We know what's happening with our gaze, our breath, different areas of our body. So we're going to breathe through here, and you can keep your weight fully in the chair. You don't need to engage the legs at all. If you feel comfortable though, I'm going to invite you to press firmly down through your feet and start to feel, even though the chair is supporting you, you can feel those muscles in the legs starting to activate, starting to do a little bit of work here. And then you can kind of choose what level you want to be at. Is the chair fully supporting you? Are you adding a little more weight? Do you even need the chair, right? You can see what level you want to be at with your legs. So let's take a few more breaths here. We're going to turn our right palm to face the ceiling now. Inhale, bring that right hand up to reach toward the ceiling. Bring the left hand to that left leg behind you, kind of reach up. This is a variation of a reverse warrior, it's called. You can stay here, or if you feel comfortable on your exhale, just kind of arch back slightly, look up and back at your hand so that you're still open at the front of the body. And this is our modified reverse warrior. And then we'll inhale, lead with that arm, reach up, bring the rest of the body back to a neutral position on an exhale. Kind of bring your legs together, shake it out. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Of course, we want to be balanced and even here. So our left leg will go over the left side. Right leg is going to stretch back, right? Best as we can. Hips squared, chest squared forward. Bring the arms out, open. We're going to gaze at our fingertip or point in front of us. Shoulders are low. Jaws relaxed. So we are trying not to use any more energy than necessary. We are engaging the muscles we want to use, we want to engage, then we're letting go of any unnecessary tension. So if you notice that you're curling your toes or that your shoulders are up or your jaw is tight, we're trying to give that permission to relax on our exhale. And we'll turn the palm to face the ceiling. Inhale, bring that left arm up, right hand behind you. So we're getting that opening, that length. And then if you feel comfortable, exhale and arch back a little. It's optional. If you're getting the benefit by just reaching up, opening in this way, that's good. And inhale, reaching that arm up. Exhale, relax. Bring the legs together, shake it out a little bit. Feeling good there. That was just a little taste of some of what we do maybe in a standard class that can be modified. Pretty much everything we do in yoga, standing on the floor, can be modified to the chair, which is really nice, I think. We're going to move into another little flow of linking our breath with our movement, and this is called cat-cow. So this is a seated cat-cow. Normally it would be on our hands and knees. We can do it right in the chair. And I'm just turning now just so you can see my alignment a little bit better. You can stay forward if you want. So our feet again are on the floor. We're going to bring our hands toward our knees here. Inhale, tall. Exhale, we're going to arch our back, kind of round our back, tuck our tailbone under, tuck our chin. Feel that stretch back through our back there. This is called our cow. I'm sorry, this is called our cat. I apologize. Think of when a cat arches its back to kind of look angry, right? Or bigger, right? We're arching our back in that way. And then we're going to inhale, and this is our cow. So we kind of lift our sit bones, those 2 points at the bottom of our pelvis, our tailbone up. We pull our shoulders back, we kind of gaze upward, chest and belly are pressing forward. We now have an arch in the opposite direction. So if you see a cow in a field and they kind of have that swoop down in their spine, if you've ever noticed that, so that is our cow pose. So exhale, and we will tuck our chin, tuck our tailbone, round our back. Inhale, we go the opposite direction, coming into cow, opening the chest, pulling the shoulders back. We're going to do that a few more times. Go with the pace of your own breath. I'm going to go back and forth with that. On your next exhale, one more cat. Tucking the chin, rounding the back, pressing the belly in. And on your next inhale, one more cow. Lifting the head, lifting kind of the tailbone, pulling the shoulders back. and cleansing breath. Now we come to a neutral position. Nice relaxed exhale, kind of shake it out for that one. Sorry, I keep just giving a quick check on my time here, make sure we're moving along as we want to. So we're gonna focus on a little stretch for our arms, for our shoulders here. So we're going to inhale, bring our right arm up. Exhale, drop our hand behind our head. So your elbow is reaching up here. We're going to inhale and bring the left arm up, take hold of the elbow, exhale, and gently pull in. If it does not feel comfortable to gently pull in, if you can't quite reach that elbow right now, that's okay. Just work here. Work here with the hand behind the head there. Take a couple breaths here. And whenever we are trying to deepen this, we do it on an exhale. So if we're gently pulling in, never forcing, never yanking, it's on our exhale. It's working with our breath. And then we'll release that arm. We'll let go. We'll release that right arm, drop it down. We're going to inhale, take that right arm, reach it open now. That arm that had the elbow up in the air, right? We're going to exhale and bring it across the chest. We're going to inhale and bring our left arm to hook that arm. And then we're going to exhale and gently pull in. So we're kind of doing a gentle counter stretch to the previous. And let go. Give that one shoulder a little roll there. Relax it. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to inhale and bring that left arm up. Or again, if you were on the opposite side, don't worry about it. We're just switching, right? Exhale, bend the elbow. Inhale, bring that right arm up to hold the elbow if you can. Exhale, gently pull in. And this is a modified version of what's called cow's face pose, where you might lock the fingers, the hands behind you, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to stick to this modified version, which gives us a lot of the exact same benefits here. Release. Kind of lower those arms, shake it out, roll the shoulder out. Inhale, now bring that left arm open. Exhale, bring it across. Inhale, lock. With that other arm, exhale, gently pull in. Feel a different stretch for that shoulder and that arm, right? And we're going to release. And roll it out, shake it out. Take your right hand now, and we're going to bring it to the right side of your chair. If you can't hold on to the side of your chair, that's okay. Just maybe put it on your right hip. So either of these positions are fine for what we're going to do right now. We're going to inhale and bring our left arm up into the air, shoulders low though, right? We still have this good alignment. We're still very aware of what's happening in the other areas of our body, right? And then as we exhale, we're going to start to bend to the right. And I want you to do that slowly. I want you to keep length as you lower down. This left sit bone might start to want to lift up as we do this, right? We're not going to let it though. We're going to keep that left hip, that left sit bone pressing toward the chair, while at the same time we are reaching. Our shoulder is going to be pulled back. We don't want to be facing the floor. We want to lift up. So sometimes our gaze, that drishti, can help us to guide our body. So we might look up and right that hand. And what you should be feeling is a nice stretch in the side of your torso, up into your shoulder and arm. If you have any shoulder issues, this isn't feeling great, again, you can just do the hand on the hip if you want. Just be aware of that shoulder pulling back. And then we'll inhale up, leading with that arm, rest of the body follows, shake it out. A couple twists if you want, and switch sides. Left hand on the left side of the chair or on your hip. Inhale, bring that right arm up. Exhale, arch to the side. Easing up the hand, our chest is open, shoulder pulled back, sit bones are even on the chair, but we're getting that nice little stretch. It doesn't take much to feel a stretch here, really. You don't need to go that far necessarily. And inhale, lead with that arm. Coming up, exhale, kind of shake it out. We're going to bring our hands to our back, and you can just kind of support your low back. If you want, you can bring your thumbs in, fingers pointing up. And the reason we might do that is because it automatically kind of pulls your elbows in and brings your shoulder blades in. But if that's not comfortable, if you have wrist issues, anything like that, just whatever feels natural to you is fine. We're just going to do a tiny little back bend is what we're doing. So we're kind of supporting ourselves on our back. You might need to come forward in your chair to give yourself some space. We'll inhale, and as we exhale, we're just tilting back a little, gazing up a bit. It doesn't need to be a crunch in the neck. You can be a little more forward with the head, but you should feel shoulder blades back, chest open, little arch here, supported arch. We're supporting our back. And then tuck your chin and then come forward. It's a nice way to come out of that, to kind of lead with the chin tuck. So we're releasing from that position, shaking it out again. Inhale, bring the arms up. You can exhale. Actually, what I'd like you to do is hold your elbows now. And then as you exhale, start to tuck forward. So remember before, for certain poses, I said we want that flat back. We're going to do the opposite right now. We're going to arch. So we're going to start to round forward, and you can begin just with your arms in your lap, supporting you, chin tucked. So now the weight of your head is going to allow your neck and your back to release even more. It's just using gravity, using our out breath to help us release. So you could stay like this, or if you feel comfortable, you can start to fold more into your lap. You could have your arms, the weight of your arms held together, your head releasing. You could let go of your arms and let them hang. So you could be up very, very high in this. It's okay. And just tuck your chin, or you could really sink down low into your lap. But for the next few breaths, use those exhales to let go. Feel gravity doing the work for you. Feel how the weight of your arms and head help to give a natural extension. You don't need to force anything. You'll feel that stretch in your neck and in your back just by coming forward in this way. And then we'll inhale up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. So one part of your back at a time, dragging your arms up. Your head is the last thing to come up. Taking a cleansing breath at the top there, rolling the shoulders into place again, being aware of our posture. We're going to go for a twist in our chair. So to do a twist in your chair, you're going to take your both legs to the right side. If you happen to be in a chair that has arms, just again, doing the best you can, it's okay. But coming to the side, and we're going to use our chair to our benefit, right? That can help us deepen our pose actually as a kind of its own prop. And we're going to use our breath to our benefit. So we will take the arm that is furthest away from the back of the chair. So rather than saying left or right, I'm going to explain it this way in case you're facing the other way. We're going to take that arm that's the furthest away from the back of the chair. We're going to inhale and open it up wide. And then we're going to exhale and bring it across the chest to hold the back of the chair. Then we're going to take the arm that is closest to the back of the chair, that's inside here. We're going to inhale and reach it up high. And we're going to exhale and do this big exaggerated movement. We're going to reach it back behind us. We're going to turn our chest toward the chair. And now we're going to take that arm that we did this big move, and we're just going to bring it back to hold the back of the chair. And we're gazing beyond our shoulder to guide our body into that twist. So I am twisting toward the right, so I'm looking past my right shoulder. If you're twisting toward the left, you'll look past your left shoulder. Again, our drishti. You can use the chair. Now, each inhale, you sit tall. Each exhale, you might relax or maybe even go deeper into your twist. And with your exhales, you might even walk your hands a little further. Very slow, very gentle. We're never forcing or rushing this. This is a mindful practice. So, I might walk my hand all the way around to really help with this. But our deepening of the twist comes on the exhale. And then we'll inhale and kind of unwind. Come forward, shake it out. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. We'll switch sides here. The arm again, that is farthest away from the back of the chair. We inhale, and as we exhale, we bring it across to hold the chair. Inhale, bring that left arm up. Exhale, reach it back. Big exaggerated movement because it allows us to get into the best or optimal alignment, right? Positioning. But doing the best we can, as long as you feel the benefit, you feel the twist in the back of the torso, it feels hopefully good to you, right? If something hurts, we don't do it, right? If we're feeling real pain, we don't do it. There's a difference between working the muscles, kind of getting that exercise burn, and just straight up pain, right? So we want to avoid injury. We're being nice to ourselves. So a few nice long breaths here, wherever you feel comfortable in this twist. And then inhale forward, exhale, shake it out a little bit. So, and sometimes things are uncomfortable, right? If our body is feeling tight, it's not used to stretching in a certain way, it can be uncomfortable, but knowing that difference between discomfort and pain. So we're actually going to stand up, if that's okay. We're going to use our chair just to do some very gentle balancing. If this is not comfortable for you, if you prefer to stay seated, that's okay. You can just focus on your breath just for a few moments here with that. But for our balancing, you can use the chair to support you, or you can come to the wall or another piece of furniture. Make sure you're not leaning into it so that it's toppling forward, right? We're staying very careful. We're using something sturdy. So I am on the right side of my chair. So that means that my leg that's closest to the chair is the left, and that's the leg I'm going to start to lean into just a little bit as we move into this. But first, let's look at our alignment while standing. Very similar to sitting in the chair. We have the head over the pelvis, right? If we looked down, our feet are kind of pointing forward. They're number 11 there, best as we can. Your feet do not need to be touching. You can have a little bit of space. Maybe they're under the hips. Your hips are even. You're not sticking your tailbone way out or tucking in, right? Just even pelvis. Shoulders up to the ears, squeeze back, drop down. And maybe drop your arms heavy. Crown of the head lifts, chest open. Take a breath here. Relax. Now, take the arm that's closest to the chair or the wall or whatever you're using for support. You can hold on to that. Wiggle your toes for a second. So sometimes we lean into our toes. You don't even realize we're doing it. We want to be on the four corners of our feet, the balls of our feet, the heels, the outer edges. Relax your toes. So we're going to now shift our weight to the leg closest to the chair. Kind of lean into that. Start to bend the right knee, the leg that's farthest away from the chair. You're going to bend that knee, lift that heel. You could stay just here. You can feel that this leg is doing more work, right? We're working those muscles. If you want to move on, you can lift the heel a bit higher, just be on the tips of the toes. Or you can start to lift the foot a bit higher. This is entirely up to you. Put it up and down as many times as you need to. You can stay holding the chair, or if you'd like, you can take this arm that's furthest away from the chair, bring it out to the side, just because it helps with our balance, right? We can bring our fingertips to the chair now. So now we still have some support, but we're putting a lot more focus on this leg doing the work, on our body having to keep the balance, right? Our breath is steady, our gaze is steady. So if your eyes are darting around the room or watching the screen, watching someone move, that will affect your balance. You can keep your gaze at a steady point. That will help you. And if you're feeling comfortable, you can even bring that other arm out. So think of like a tightrope walker. They have that big long pole, right? It's physics. It helps with your balance a bit. Breathing through. And then we'll start to release here. You can hold the chair again. You can lower that leg. Take that leg that did all that work. Give it a little break. Loosen it up. And we're going to come to the other side of the chair. The same thing on this side. The leg that, or well, actually, I should say, we don't want to rush in. We want to be mindful. So roll your shoulders. Be aware of your alignment. Finding your gazing point. Leave it there. We'll take hold of the chair. Again, start to shift our weight to the leg that's closest to the chair, or again, to what you're using for support. We'll start to bend that other leg, start to lift the heel. As we feel comfortable, lift the toes. Spend some time here breathing. We'll take the arm that's furthest away from what we're holding for support. We'll bring it out to the side. And if you're feeling okay, start to lessen your grip. Maybe just come to your fingertips. You can always, just one fingertip can make a difference. You can let go and then touch again, whatever you need for your balance today. Or if you would like, you can try to bring that arm out. Wherever you are, a couple more breaths. And then again, you could hold the chair if you'd like. We're lowering the leg. We're shaking out that base leg. And we're going to come to sit again. So that was our one standing thing we're doing today. One little balance. So we are seated in the chair now, and I'm going to invite you to potentially do a couple of things here. We're going to go into what's called Shavasana in yoga. Shavasana is our kind of our final relaxation. It's a place where we try to relax the body after all the work, absorb the benefits of the practice, and really just work on letting go. Oftentimes we would do this lying down, right? But today we're going to do it in the chair. If you have the ability to move your chair to a place where you could lean back and rest your head on something like the wall. I have this giant painting behind me that I'm not going to do that to, but I'm just going to invite anyone who has that ability, if you want to do that, you can, so that you can lean your head against the wall and let go of any tension in the neck muscles, right? Your neck won't have to do as much work is the idea. But if you can't do that, like me right now in this position, you could just go with sitting back, right? For me, and I know we talked about this before we started, Lisa, I am very short. So when I sit all the way back in the chair, my feet do not perfectly stay flat to the floor. But for the purpose of what we're doing right now, that's okay. We're going to try to lean back into the chair and get comfortable. We want as much support as we can have for our body right now. We're going to rest our hands in our lap for this. And what I would like you to do is close your eyes. Again, if there's some anxiety or some difficulty, discomfort keeping the eyes closed, gaze down. Find one little spot on the floor that you can just let your eyes gently gaze at. So we are going to scan our bodies and do what's called progressive muscle relaxation to get us fully into Shavasana. So we're going to start at our feet. Notice your feet. Notice any sensations. So if you're wearing socks or shoes right now, you might feel that against your skin. You might feel the floor, at least parts of it, pressing into your feet. You might feel the air in the room against your skin. You might feel sensations deeper in the muscles or joints of the feet. We're just having mindfulness awareness of that area of the body. If it helps, you can even visualize your feet to stay focused on it. But on our inhale, we're going to do a little squeeze of the toes, and we'll stretch the toes and we'll wiggle and stretch the feet. And then on our next exhale, we're going to let go. Let the feet just drop. Let them be relaxed. It's almost like you're putting them to sleep. And we're going to shift our attention now to our lower legs, ankles, calves, shins, and knees, and just be aware of sensation. Aware of those little details. And we try not to judge it. We don't say it's a bad sensation. We try to avoid giving that judgment, just awareness. And we'll give a little tension, a little squeeze to our calf muscles. That might activate your ankles, your knees. That's okay, but a little tension. And then on your exhale, soften. Let go of the lower legs. Shift your attention to your upper legs, your thighs, your glutes, which are the muscles you sit on, your hips and pelvis. Be aware of the sensations, the clothing against the skin, the points that your body is pressing into the chair. Squeeze those muscles again. And on your exhale, melt into the chair. Just soften those muscles. And we'll shift our attention now to our shoulders. And we'll do a little shoulder roll. So we'll bring the shoulders up to the ears, squeeze them back, and on our exhale, we drop them down, let them go. Notice your arms, hands, and fingers. Again, you can tense, you can make fists, you can stretch and wiggle the fingers, but on your exhale, let go. So that Your fingers are in a naturally curled position. Oftentimes in Shavasana, we'll have the palms facing up, but whatever position is okay for you is good. Muscles are soft. If I were in your house or wherever you are and I were to lift your arm and let it go, it would fall very heavy into your lap. You're really relaxed in the arms now. Notice your face and your head. Be aware of any sensations. And we're going to do, I know we're on camera. Try not to get too shy if your camera is on. We're going to do a couple funny faces here because we want to stretch the muscles of the face just like we do any other part of the body. So I'd like you to start by making kind of an angry kissy face, like scrunch the eyebrows, lower the eyebrows, purse the lips. And then we're going to arch the eyebrows and smile. And then we're going to open the jaw. Stick out the tongue. We're going to bring the tongue back in the mouth. We're going to let the tongue rest in the mouth. Teeth are slightly apart. Lips and eyes are gently closed. We have a peaceful expression on the face because that is a relaxed position for the muscles of the face. We actually can hold a lot of tension in our jaw, in our eyes, in our faces in this way. So we're releasing that. And lastly, we're going to be aware of our torso, our belly, chest, back, and sides. Again, noticing sensations, the clothing against your skin, the points that your back presses into the chair. The movement of your body as you breathe and what that feels like. Any sensations deeper in the body. You're going to inhale, again, expand the belly, the ribs. And then exhale, press the belly button in toward the spine. We're going to do that again. Nice full inhale till the lungs feel completely filled. Hold that in-breath for just a second. And a long exhale until the lungs feel empty. Hold that out-breath for just a second. And then naturally breathe. For the next few moments, just allow your body to sink deeper into Shavasana, into this relaxation. With each natural exhale, you can release a little further. If you notice that a muscle tensed again, it's okay. Give it permission to relax. Use your next exhale. Notice that you might hear a sound. Acknowledge it. And then come back to your next natural breath, watching that. Notice that a thought might come to mind. That's okay. Notice it, observe it, acknowledge it, and come back. Be aware of the present moment in the context of your practice, just sinking deeper into this. One more full inhale. A long, smooth out breath. Really releasing. One more time, feeling all the muscles soften. We're going to sit up in a tall position again. You keep your eyes closed if you'd like here. Inhale, bring your arms up over your head. Bring your palms together above your head in kind of a prayer position. Exhale, bring your hands down past your forehead, down to your heart. Bring your hands in a prayer position against your heart here, pressing the palms firmly together. Inhaling tall. And then exhale, and we kind of hinge forward. One more kind of stretch for the back and the neck, but it's also just a traditional way to end. Sometimes in class, people will say namaste or different things like that. It's a good signaling that it's the end of the practice practice for your mind and your body here. And we'll inhale up again. And just open your eyes as you're ready. And that was our chair yoga practice today.
Natalie, thank you. That was fantastic. I feel like a new human being. And I'm sure as I'm seeing in the chat, I know that you can't see them from where you are, but we have, this was great. That was awesome. I'm so relaxed. Excellent. Thank you. Everyone is thrilled and feeling so good. I can't thank you enough. And especially in this this time where there is so much external stress in addition to our internal stress that we put on ourselves. It's very much needed. Maria Elena, you can do it every week because this recording is going to be on our website. So anytime that you feel the need, it'll be on there and you can do it again. So does anyone have any questions or any comments? Feel free to unmute or put your video on. You can, ask or say anything to Natalie yourself. I don't have to be the one relaying messages here. If you'd like to say anything, please go ahead.
Hi, I had a question. I have two senior citizen parents, and they both experience chronic pain. Are there, or I should ask, what are some of the short-term or long-term benefits for things like that, chronic pain?
So yoga and meditation have both been studied a lot in context to pain and managing chronic pain. And one of the main things that we find is that it is the relaxation element that helps with it, right? So pain is exacerbated by tension in the body, right? By emotional affect, right? Can also heighten pain. So when we're doing a practice like this, it can actually help us to be mindful of that, balance that out, and reduce it in that way. And those are some of the main benefits, I'd say, related to that. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much. This was great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Adrienne. Natalie, is there anything else that you want to say or you want to share? I do want to definitely have you on again for yoga, perhaps not chair yoga this time. Maybe we'll do a whole nother class for a different type of yoga. I know there's a bunch of different types, so it would be nice to maybe even turn this into a little series with us together. It seems like
yoga, there's lots of different types of yoga, and frankly, even though it's a very old practice, a lot of these types of yoga are extremely modern, right? And you can definitely find one that will work for you, right? There's a lot of different types. There's power yoga and this and that, Ashtanga. And meditation is the same way. There's so many different types of meditation and ways to meditate that you can usually find something that will work for you personally. So I really like to try to give a lot of variation when I teach, but I would be happy to come back and do more. Regarding, just the idea of yoga for pain and things like that, just one more note, you're always going to want to talk to your doctor, right? A yoga teacher goes through, learning about yoga, but that doesn't mean that it's exactly right for everybody and it's one size fits all, right? So you're going to try to find a practice that works for you in conjunction with whatever treatments you have going on with your doctor as well. And I think that's just an important differentiation to make, that we do want to have awareness that this is a complementary practice with whatever else you have going on, but it really can make a big difference in your pain level and your own experience interpretation of pain.
Thank you for that. I don't think I'm quite ready for power yoga, but maybe we'll work up to that. It sounds a little bit intense for me, but we'll get there hopefully. All right, thank you everyone for joining and watching chair yoga today, and hopefully you'll join us another time. So I hope everyone gets a chance to go outside and enjoy this weather. I know that it's a little bit cloudy, but you can't beat the temperature. So I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day and stay safe. Have a good one. Bye.